Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Wrestlemania here, and joined by...
it's Edeno.
Well,
now known as...
What he is, Edeno.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, now known as Eden. Just plain old Eden. But,
it's still Edeno as far as you viewers are concerned. Well, I said I'd do the WrestleMania review with him, and we're gonna basically discuss the whole experience, really, because it was the whole thing, because it was just a really good WrestleMania. Well, I thought it was.
I thought it was
very good.
Brilliant.
Best one in years, definitely.
I thought 27 was amazing, but you'd argue that, wouldn't you? You really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, but just looking back, it just could have done things so much better, differently. But then again, that's in the past. But this one had a lot of potential. Did it live up to that? We'll discuss that later. I mean, there's some aspects, but basically, we watched it. There was a group of lads. Around here, there was me and Eden and about 5-6 others, and that was really good because I don't know about you, but I've never watched it in like a group environment to that extent where you're like, told you they're dry.
Yeah, very dry.
Yeah, a bit too dry. Where like
Tesco cookie bars, don't invest.
They're all right if you have a glass
mediocre.
Of milk, yeah, mediocre at best. Stick with Yield mini rolls. Go a long way. Yeah, it was the first time really watching a group environment, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, like excuse me, when there was a big moment, we were like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, we got mental. But we'll delve straight into it. I mean, we were quite drunk, so we'll use what memories we have of that event left. Well, there was a preview show where, did you know Primo got retained? Bit gutted, but you know.
That should have been
on the card.
Yeah, definitely.
Room, did they? Well, first of all, first match, World Heavyweight Championship match. Sheamus versus D-Bry. And
fair to say it was a travesty.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If you blinked, you missed this. Put it like that. I mean, the grand total of the match, lengthwise, was 18.5 seconds. A whole 18.5 seconds. I mean, these two, the brightest young stars in the company, they probably could have put on a good 20-25 minute match. A pure, brilliant match, because these are, for me, two of the best workers in the business as well. Yeah. Both solid on the mic, both solid in the ring, both got really good gimmicks. Why do that? I think it was unfair to both of them. People have not annoyed me, but I think people have been a bit too, Sheamus' fault, well, to be fair, I think Sheamus would have...
Yeah, who wouldn't have wanted a 20-minute match at WrestleMania?
Sheamus would have wanted it more than anything, because the amount of interviews he said, we got cut off the card last year, and, you know what I mean, it was unfair. It was just unfair, and it was a disappointment, wasn't it, because we didn't expect that. I don't think anyone did. Saying
that, though, sometimes unexpected is the greatest thing in wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, I was happy because Sheamus won.
Yeah.
It was good, but it had so much. It could have been so much more.
Yeah.
Could have been so much more.
Next up was Randy Orton and Kane, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
That was an okay little match.
Good match.
Kane still got it.
I think it was the right length. They didn't have it short enough, but they did have it long enough. They had it just spot on. Kane won. Big choke off top of.
Orton lost on his birthday. Props to Orton for putting
props
Kane
to Orton
over.
Well, that's Randy Orton for me. He passed 3 years. It's all he has no problem putting people over.
He had his moments, but I'd say he's a better man now. Yeah,
definitely. It was a good match, like I say. People, Kane won, which I'm happy with, but it's like, where can Kane go now? I mean, he wasn't even on Raw.
Was Orton on Raw?
No, neither of them were. I think maybe giving him a bit of time off, but I don't know. Well, Orton SmackDown, isn't he, really? Yeah. But I guess we'll see where that goes. Well, they're having a rematch on SmackDown, apparently. So I think that Orton will win that, and then that'll be the end of the feud. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that'll make sense. But yeah, good little match. God, I'm trying to think. Drunkenness does this.
Was it the Divas match?
No, that was a bit later on. I'll try to remember. Sorry, just bear with us, folks. Keep him busy. Drugs,
they're bad. Very bad. What else happened? Shall we talk about how diabolical Machine Gun Kelly's performance was?
We'll save that.
We'll save that.
Oh, here we go. Right, Randy Orton Kane. Next up, Intercontinental Championship match.
Cody Rhodes and Big Show.
Good match.
Yeah,
I liked it. I mean, props to Big Show. Somebody on Twitter pissed me off because they put, Big Show's so much. He's so shitty, hasn't he? He's never had it. I was like, to be fair, give Big Show props. Since he's come back, he's been pretty damn spot on in the ring. I don't know about you.
What? Yeah,
Belland.
definitely.
Big Show in the ring since he's come back, and people saying he's shit.
Well, I always thought, right, like, I used to dread a Big Show match. I used to really, really, really dread a Big Show match. But then he came back, and even him and Mark Henry were putting on great matches.
That says a lot.
And these two, 400 plus pound giants. And they're putting on some of the best stuff I've ever seen.
Definitely. But yeah, like...
I'd say he's certainly worthy of the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
And it was good Rhodes losing it. Maybe not on the grandest stage, but it's good he lost it.
I would have preferred Rhodes to win it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would have had Rhodes win and then Big Show win at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, something like that. But now...
200 plus reign, though.
Rhodes is only going to go to bigger and better places.
Hopefully. I mean... I was sad and happy at the same time. I'm glad because Big Show's a Grand Slam champion, where personally I think he's worthy of it, but I was sad because it was a good, 230 days reign?
Yeah, I think it was 236.
One of the longest since Shelton Benjamin, who was 244. I was looking at it the other day. But it was a good match, a lot of good spots. Rhodes hit the disaster kick, and then I thought Rhodes was going to pick it up from there because he tried to do crossroads, but he couldn't do it because he was too big.
Yeah.
And then Big Show hit the old weapon of mass destruction. But it was all the whole Big Show's burying his demons for WrestleMania. Next up we had Ye All Divas match.
I actually didn't mind this.
Yeah, it was a good match. I
Bearable,
I'd like to say give a lot of props to that Maria Menounos girl because she was working. She had 2 broken ribs, and for someone who's not a wrestler, I think it deserves a lot of props to that because she was working injured. Don't know what your opinion on that.
I thought it was quite quite entertaining.
Still think there could have been a lot more done with Beth Phoenix, definitely. Like, considering, is it Karma, is it Natalia, or is it Trish?
Yeah, we had all these things.
Yeah, and then just to throw her in a tag match.
Little tag team match.
You know what I mean? Like, I could have a 2-year-old could have booked this match, you know what I mean? It was still hard, it was a good match.
Entertaining, which is, we can't ask so much more.
But, well... Next up, JR came out, and I think that only meant one thing.
Yeah.
End of an era, Hell in a Cell. Mirror vein. Yeah. Memory remains.
This was absolutely unbelievable. Like,
it's one of the best matches I've seen.
You got the 2 titans here, like 2 of the most established stars of all time, taking on one another, and it's all going to end. Undertaker rocking the skinhead.
Yeah.
That was something else. That was
fault hit.
I don't
130. The game, its entrance was fucking badass as shit.
Yeah, it just looked mid.
HBK, you know what I mean? Mr. WrestleMania himself. I think HBK was probably the best thing they could have done for this match. Besides the Hell in the Cell, because it was genius. Because you really didn't know what was going to happen. And this is like, I think the 3 best matches I've seen, like, Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25, Punk Cena Money in the Bank, and this, like, and I think that says a lot. It was phenomenal. I give props to both guys.
All 3 guys.
So yeah, and HBK, really, really good. I mean, genuinely, I didn't know. Like, there was just so many good spots. I mean, Triple H hit with the Spinebuster on the steel steps, and you could see Taker's back was like
it was something else,
wasn't it? I mean, there was loads of good little spots.
And then there was the ending, carrying out Triple H. It just makes you think, what's next?
Definitely. I mean, it was sad. It was very sad. Like, I felt a tear come in my eye when the last image was them 3. But there were so many good moments. I mean, it was mint. Like, you didn't know what was happening. HBK, Undertaker got HBK in the Hell's Gate, and then HBK super kicked Undertaker, and then Triple H pedigreed him, and that's when I thought, like, we were all like, what? No, like,
yeah, definitely.
That was it. But then Taker hit the chokeslam, then the new ref, and then Taker took out the new ref, and then HBK got...
It was
mental,
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But 20-0, and I think that's, big statement. I mean, best in...
The greatest milestone in professional wrestling history.
And probably one of the sports history, to be honest. I mean, it was phenomenal. I think both guys deserve. It'll take a good, lot of time off now. But yeah, that was big. That was big. Next up, we had who is the best in the world. Oh no, sorry, that was later on.
It was later on.
We had Team Johnny versus Team Teddy.
I thought it was pretty. It was a
Good.
match. It was better than I was expecting, to say the least.
I would have preferred elimination because I just think it would have made it a lot more. It was a bit. It
wasn't very tense.
No.
There was not a point where you were like,
Yeah.
It was just. But I thought it was. I was a bit. I haven't been watching it recently, wrestling, but like when Eve came out, last thing I remember is Zack Ryder and Eve they fell out, and then Eve comes out with him. Was like, it was a bit too obvious. I don't like obvious in wrestling.
Well, she's a heel, but yeah, that was a bit. You knew something wasn't right there. Well, it was good. I mean, there's a lot of like bright little moments. There's one where Kofi, Truth, and Ryder did like a triple flip forward on the outside on Otunga, Swagger, Henry, Miz, and Ziggler. Yeah, just absolutely took them out, and it was beast because they landed it simultaneously. And then like Aksana and Vicky Guerrero were going at it. It was good. Like it was manic, like what I sometimes like because
it was an entertaining match to say the least.
The finish was Ryder was sort of picking it up. He was about he was about to do that. What's that thing called? This
Broski boot.
Yeah, like the snapshot thing. Yeah, that was it. Broski boot, and he went to do it, but then Eve got in the ring. She did like the woo woo thing, and she distracted him, and he turned around and Miz hit him with skull crushing finale, and Miz got the pin, and Miz is still unbeaten at WrestleMania 3-0 now, so that's pretty cool. But I don't know about you. Were you happy you won? Johnny? Yeah.
I think he's got more potential than Teddy. Teddy's been there for what, 10... It feels like 10 years now. About 8 years
managing, yeah.
And it's just... He's done... You know what I mean? Things do come to an end.
Yeah.
And you can only make so many tag team matches.
Tag team match. Holla holla. But I think Johnny's going to be good because like, hasn't been a time where it's been that like Eric Bischoff.
Yeah. And you know I prefer Lauren Knights to Bischoff, personally.
I know, like, there's something good about Eric.
There was something about Bischoff.
But, well, since he's got a TNA, there's nothing. Oof, we don't mention TNA on this channel, sorry. Next up, I think now it was the...
Best in the world.
Yeah. What?
This match.
Well, tell them.
We pretty much had a wager, me and my friend George, if Chris Jericho lost, we would shave our head. It was one of those drunken things.
Everyone else was like, nah, Punk's winning, them two. Nah, Jericho's going to win. And, it was a good match. The crowd were very exhausted still. From the Tater match. I mean, the Team Johnny versus Team Teddy kind of pulled them back a bit. But I don't think it was... they weren't as alive as they could have been.
No.
And I think Jericho and Punk were trying, but there was a lot.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, there was a lot of times they just couldn't pull it back. It was good, like I'll give it that.
Very entertaining match.
Wasn't as good as I was expecting.
No.
I'll be honest.
It was lacking something, wasn't it? I think the main factor was that we just witnessed one of the greatest of all time. You know, the end of an era, and then that just
didn't quite hit it. I think they didn't give him enough time, but I still think they could have done more. Maybe. The finish was quite good, like where he had him in the walls of Jericho and he went for it again and Punk like flipped him over. And I'm glad Punk hit the Anaconda Vice because I just think the GS would have been too predictable. Yeah. But it was good. Punk retained anyhow and best in the world, CM Punk apparently. So I'm quite happy with that. He's had a long reign, so we're just curious to see where that's going now because you know who's going to come back. Next up we had the Save Your Hair match. The once in a lifetime John Cena Rock. This is where we can talk about how much of a bellend Machine Gun Kelly is.
Oh, first off,
John Cena's ass, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. First off, he has Sean, whatever his name is, Daddy Puff.
Puff Pissstead.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy, I think.
Right.
P Diddy, yeah.
And yes, P Diddy come out and introduce him. That wasn't necessary. Then Scarlett Grey, who I once thought was a great vocal talent, proved shit at WrestleMania.
Wasn't it Esther Dean?
No, it's Scarlett Grey. I was watching it yesterday.
Oh, I thought it was Esther Dean.
No, Scarlett Grey. And then you got Machine Gun Kelly.
Esther Dean do the record and then Scarlett Grey did it live, yeah.
But I thought Machine Gun Kelly was alright, and then he slates The Rock.
He started talking saying, you're about to see one of the, biggest egos in wrestling.
Get beaten by the ultimate underdog.
Fuck off.
Behave.
Next up we had Flo Rida. Well, Cena came out in a new shirt.
Yeah, and his Starbucks logo.
Yeah, Rise Above Coffee, apparently. Next up we had Flo Rida. And
Flo Rida was mint. I love Flo Rida.
He was. I know we sound like proper rock marks of a Machine Gun Kelly's crowd. Flo Rida was really good. He got the crowd proper into it. He did Good Feeling, which, who doesn't love Good Feeling? He did Wild Ones. And he came out on a fucking Tron cycle.
I know.
And then his font was in Tron. It was mint. And then he introduced The Rock, and then the roof came after place.
There wasn't a roof on the place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And The Rock came out, and then it was very good. There was a lot of Hogan Rock elements in it.
Yeah.
Cena didn't bring his...
No, he was very sloppy.
Like Denzel said that as well. Cena just didn't bring it as much as he could have.
No.
Denzel S27, give him a watch. Very good reviewer. I'll put his link in the description box. But he didn't bring it. Rock was very good, I thought. Like, he still got it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a fucking idiot. I don't think Rock's ever lost it, to be honest. But, very good. I mean, I thought Cena was going to win.
Yeah.
I wanted The Rock to win.
Mm-hmm. Then when you saw The Rock win, that was just incredible.
Couldn't put it into words.
5 o'clock in the morning here in the UK, and we're just going crazy.
Like, 6 lads just literally going mental because we
all
all wanted
cheering.
The Rock to win.
Then we bum rubbed Joey again.
Yeah.
Right, to sum up, WrestleMania 28 was fantastic. There was elements where it could have been better.
The experience of just hanging out with your friends. I mean, if you've never watched the Mania, or if you've just streamed it live on your own.
Stop that. Pay for it. Sorry.
Yeah, you tell them. I mean, make more of a point of that.
Yeah.
Don't stream. We have never streamed. We won't probably won't.
When did we ever stream? Ever?
You did SummerSlam. I did Hell in a Cell. So folks, WrestleMania was good. It's Edeno is out.
He is out.
Masley is out, and peace.